Many Australians have begun working from home as the coronavirus pandemic changes the way we do business. Some people are used to working from home, but for many this really is a new ground. Our Sunday morning tech expert, Djuro is also an expert in working from home, and that's where he joins us from now. Looking good, Djuro. Of course, your setup is perfect because you are so good at doing all of this. But do you know, Djuro, how long have you actually been working from home?
Good morning to you, Janie. And for me, it's been at least 2 or 3 years, but I've had an office set up that's been pretty good for about 20 years, going way back when I worked for the Waratahs and Wallabies. And I really found it really interesting. But I've also found, as you can see from the pictures here, I did a shout out to people at home. That's Sam Skontos from Alcatel and TCL, but what their setups are, and it's been really interesting all the differences people have. A lot of people using lounge rooms, for example. There's my daughter Isabella, she's working from home as well, doing a tech business. And, another friend, of course, here, Sal, at home in her bedroom. So very different setups for lots of people. But for me, Janie, I've found that the important thing is to get everything sorted out that gets you ready to work and be productive. And what I've found is speaking to a lot of people, they're already, and I know this for a fact, you're already working longer hours.
That's interesting, isn't it? And yeah, you want to have nice light as you do there. And let's face it, I mean, the schools are not closed down yet. Some have to be because of cases of coronavirus being in certain schools. But, the UK have got the schools down. It's just a matter of time, really. So it's not just going to be one person working from home. As you mentioned, it's going to be pretty much the whole family.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. You need to be able to spread around the house and work out where you are. Right here is where Tracy will work, my wife, and downstairs my daughter will be working. And I've got a renovated garage, which is a full studio, and I've been working on that for many years. And it's not easy to do, but once you set up, it's a really good system. And one of the things I love about working from home is the fact that you can just sort of take a quick break and do things. But one of the key elements, Janie, too, is actually getting connectivity right, because, I was talking to you the other day about your connectivity, and for a lot of people, it's a concern. Will they have enough bandwidth to actually do work?
You really did help me. Thank you very much, Djuro. You saved my day, my bandwidth and my sanity. But look,
and look at some of that stuff there, Jane.
Yeah,
that's the 5G thing. So that's what I'm coming to you right now over Skype. And the reason it looks so good is 5G, although it's very hard to get, you have to enter your address in the Optus website, and it's like a lottery. And I was fortunate. Look at those speeds, 225 megabits down and about 50 up. The other thing is you've got to look at your internal Wi-Fi system. And we've mentioned this on the show before, but it's really important. Look for a mesh wireless system. And this is the Google Nest one. There are many others as well, the Velop system as well. And what that does is enhance your network that goes through floors and walls, and you're not using extenders that can be a little bit dodgy. Mesh networks are a different thing. It's very sophisticated technology, and that's the thing to do. The other thing I might mention too, Janie, is that if you are struggling, and this is good advice for yourself as well, that I have here on the desk, the very latest D-Link 4G LTE router system. Now, this thing takes a SIM card in the side, and you can use, a prepaid plan or something like that, and that will enable you to use the mobile network. Now, if you get a data plan, I was on $100 with OVO for 500 gigs. I can't find that plan anymore because all my tech mates jumped onto it and they got rid of it. But you can still get a pretty good plan. Put your SIM card in, and if you've got really dodgy coverage, terrible NBN, or don't have the NBN, you can then share your mobile signal to the whole house or plug your computer directly in the back. Now, this is brand new. It only came out like yesterday, so I got my hands on it, and it's a really good system. So if you're looking for an option, try and look for a LTE or 4G wireless modem that takes a SIM card and spreads your signal throughout the house. You can then connect this to your Wi-Fi system, and so you've got everything covered. So there are inventive ways of doing it, but I think the pressure of our networks is only going to increase. And so the pressure on Telstra, Vodaphone and Optus is going to be huge.
And this week they were talking about, you know, places like Netflix and so forth, lowering their resolution to increase the bandwidth. Djuro, tonight's coronavirus special on Sky News, you're going to be explaining what key technology that you do need to work from at home, obviously what you've just mentioned there. What would you say would be the most important thing?
Well, I think the wireless thing is the number one thing, but something that people don't think of is the chair. Now, I bought a chair yesterday from Officeworks, and I had a look around, and I couldn't believe how many people were there buying office chairs. And that's a good thing, because after a couple of hours, a couple of days, you're really going to get tired of sitting down on a chair that is just built for the lounge room. But as you can see there was a lot of people looking around, and I was asking one of the staff members there as I was checking out, I said, how are you going with their chairs? And they said they're really selling strongly. So it's not just in the supermarkets where people are going to buy stuff, they're actually going to office supplies and technology stores to pick things up. And I think it's a good thing that you get your chair right. I really do think that if you don't get the chair right, you will really struggle. And I've been doing this for a long time. You'll struggle just to get through the day. You obviously got to get up and down and walk around. That's an important thing. But the other thing too is also headphones, because you're going to be talking to work throughout the day. And what I suggest is using something comfortable like your AirPods or something else like these Sonys that I have here. And these are fantastic. So the great thing about using these devices, they have long battery life, you know, between 3 and 5 hours each set of headphones. And by using one at a time, right, take one out, put it in your ear, if I can get it out, and leaving the other one in to get charged. That way, you'll be able to get through the day. So when that's finished, you put that one in and take the other one out. They will sync up to your laptop, and that does that through Bluetooth. That's another way to do it.
The noise cancellation one's a little bit more expensive, but they're certainly well worth it, especially if you've got a whole family at home for a very long time, and coffee as well for everyone that drinks coffee. Djuro, Sam, we've got to wrap it up, unfortunately, but thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing, of course, the coronavirus special with yourself on there tonight.
Thank you, Janie. Good to speak to you.